Hey guys, this is Hannah Heretic and I'm here with the Fallen State. How are you guys doing?
Good. You all right?
Yeah. So Adam, you've just recently joined. Last week it was announced. How's that all gone down for you?
Yeah, it's good. It's exciting that we've got music out now, and we did that announcement all in sort of one go. And yeah, it's good to finally get it out because it's been so long sort of sitting on it and keeping it quiet. So it's awesome to let people know about it now.
The time that's been a secret.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's good. It's good to get it out there finally, and good that people are digging it as well. So all good.
Yeah, the response seems to have been great from what I've seen.
Yeah, it has gone really well. Obviously, we've never done anything like that, and the change that's happened has been happening over the last sort of 6 months. But yeah, now it's all kind of out there, and people have received it so well. It's such a, not only is it like a weight off the shoulders, not that we were like nervous, but it's just kind of like new territory for everybody.
Yeah.
So we're just so glad it kind of went down as well as it has so far, and people really digging at him, and having that chance to check out what he brings straight away, to the table, as opposed to getting to know him online through all this lockdown and Zoom stuff, and then having to wait to shows. So it's good to say, like, here's Adam, welcome, man, and boom, here's the music straight away. So I think we kind of nailed that a little bit, which is good. But it's gone really well. So yeah, I think Adam will agree. It's pretty sweet, I think, at the minute.
Yeah, definitely.
So what made you go with Adam?
Nobody else was available. So
yeah, literally, yeah. I was the only one about, yeah.
No, honestly, well, we got to know Adam from he played with us with his previous band a couple of years ago, and we've kind of kept in touch a little bit. And yeah, you make friends as you go on tour and play with other sort of support bands, and you meet people all over the country, so you kind of make friends from that, as Adam will probably agree from his time doing it as well. So yeah, we've been keeping in touch a little bit, and when the time came for us to sort of start really assessing what the Fallen State was going to be doing when Ben left, we were already in sort of lockdown, so we had time to assess what we were going to do, and we all agreed, and we, with Ben's blessing, we said, look, we're going to continue, we're going to fight and get through this, and everybody's got their own battles with lockdowns and things, and we said, right, this is not going to end us, it's going to hopefully make us stronger and at the end of it. And so we started getting in touch with Adam, to sort of say, here's what's going on a little bit, what are you up to, and where are you with this sort of thing. And yeah, it kind of went from there, which was really cool. I think it went really smoothly. So yeah.
So this year's obviously been a little bit more quiet for other bands, and I guess some have been in the studio but haven't really been able to see each other outside of that. But I guess it's been a bit more eventful for you than it has for these other bands. So what sort of thing will we be seeing from you this year?
Well, yeah, we hit the studio in October. Sort of between lockdowns, as soon as we could get in there, we cracked on, and we've been demoing. Most bands do it like this anyway, but we've been demoing online and digitally using softwares, and sort of having a few little get-togethers in between lockdowns and things. So we were kind of beginning to write, I would say, pretty much as soon as Adam joined, we sort of said, look, here are some demos, this is what we're working towards, if we can, we'll get in and record and make a start on a new record. Adam jumped on that straight away. So we got a little bit of a head start. We were a little bit lucky in how we timed it, I think. But we've got half the album left to go. So we've got an album hopefully this year, Ad.
Yeah, hopefully. I'd say we've got the 5 done so far. It was good, like you say, with the timing to get there in between lockdowns. I think it was the last day we was there. It was pretty much like Boris is like, that's it, we're locking the country down again, and it was like, well, okay. So yeah, we timed it really well, and it was good. It was a good time, and it was the first time I've been in the studio for, I think it was like the best part of 2 weeks almost when it was there, and it was good, and hopefully we can get more of that out later this year.
Yeah. So when you're in the studio, who takes control of like the final decisions and things like that?
I think
go on.
Sorry, mate. I think basically it's a matter of everyone's just got an opinion, and it's I don't think anyone's got a final say. I think it's who can sort of back their idea up the best sort of thing, or if they think something should be different, then the present a case why that's the reason sort of thing. And for the first time, that's the first time I've had anything like that. Whereas previously, it's always been like I've written the songs and anyone's got anything to add, and it's like no, you know what you're doing. So it's nice to be challenged as well.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think we have always, even before Adam's time, we always agreed that we were going to be, do this 5 ways and contribute as equally as possible to all the tunes, not just your own bits, but other people's bits, and for the good of the whole tune, really. But yeah, we all bands, they come to disagreements and have little arguments, and it comes to blows occasionally about the odd line or the odd riff, but we haven't had that, particularly since Adam's joined. But yeah, I would think everything gets resolved pretty, diplomatically, and you trial and error and move on with what the consensus is really with the majority vote on bits. So it's fairly smooth, but I wouldn't say any band, every band would say they have their moments of going, hang on a minute,
Yeah. So when you write lyrics, then are they objective or are they personal to you?
I think it depends. Someone might come with an idea. We've got a song coming up which is very specific to certain things that have happened, and we're kind of like, so far with this process, that we've gone in and said, we'll say what we want to say, sort of thing. And I think the band's done that before with a Dead Set Endeavour, and if they've got something to say, they're gonna say it rather than make it all sort of smoke and mirrors. And I think, yeah, especially with a couple of the songs, are very specific to certain things. But at the end of the day, we just want to make music that's kind of honest and kind of means and stands for something. That's just, as far as I'm concerned, anyway, with the lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, agreed.
And has it always been that way in the band, even before Adam joined?
Yeah, we've always kind of had this. We don't know if other bands are like this necessarily, but we always try and start with the theme of a track, so we don't kind of put a whole song together and go, right then, here's the song. What's it going to be about? It's normally drafted before any of the music, really. It's kind of like, right, we know if somebody's got a story to tell or somebody's had an experience. Let's, this is the vibe of that particular, experience or metaphor, and let's carve a track around it. So then at least when it comes to lyrics specifically, I suppose the story's kind of been drafted really and kind of agreed to say, right, this song is about that, so let's make these lyrics work, and like Adam said, try and tell the story straight, really. But yeah, it's kind of always been like that, and Adam definitely gelled in with that straight away on this new record. So yeah.
So where do you take your main influences from?
Oh, I hate that question. I hate that question. No, it's all good. We just to give you a back. Yeah. We come from a. How do you not be cliche with this question? I have no idea. But we come from a wide demographic of influences, really. We very early on we were reviewed in what we'd done, and people saying, "Oh, look, there's a band that actually sound like an American rock band, but the vocals are distinctly British, and it's not like a Brit pop band. It's like a heavy American sounding band, except like you say, it hasn't got that American twang." And we've always maintained that could be a bit of an angle that we pursue in bringing all our influences and sounds together. But collectively we all like all sorts of different things, which I think every band is like that, and I think that's what makes the band sound like what they sound like in that respect, if you get what I mean, because everybody brings their influences to the table with their own playing and stuff, and it naturally makes the band sound like that, through the tracks. So, but yeah, that doesn't answer your question at all, does it? Adam, help me out. American rock bands, we started off, Shinedown, Alter Bridge, massive influences on us, Hailstorm, and then very quickly managed to get on tour with Hailstorm, and that really defined us as being, we're influenced by these bands, like I say, except for our sort of British angle, and trying to maintain. We've got a bit heavier as it's gone on, I think, and the Dead Set was really very much like threw all that out the window. We didn't really model ourselves on anybody for that album. We kind of said, do you know what, we're going to write as many songs or 10 songs, and they're going to be exactly what we want them to be, regardless of who people think we sound like or people want us to sound like, or what we want to sound like. So that was really a very, self-indulgent record that kind of said, look, screw it, this is us now, because we've been doing this for long enough to find ourselves and find our sound, really. But yeah, that's I suppose the origins a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think getting to know the guys and getting to know their musical taste and influence, it's the same as I think a lot of bands, as Rich touched on. It's just you get some guys together and they all like different things. I come more from the sort of classic rock, more bluesy kind of stuff, and um, you know, any kind of it's say taking Ben out of the equation and Ben's gone or whatever. So that brings in another set of influences, and that might drive the music inadvertently in a different direction, just because that's someone else's influence and their taste from something they might hear that someone else hasn't, kind of puts it into a different way. But yeah, I think we could all pretty much like between us, like every single genre and spectrum of music, basically. So
yeah, just to touch on that very quickly, like Adam, you're dead right, mate. Like, people have said to us since we've announced Ben leaving and since we've released Knives, people are kind of saying, aren't they, oh, it's good that you guys haven't changed. And it's very difficult you can't really sort of turn around to people, like especially your fans and people who followed you for a long time and say, well, actually, we'd love to say, look, guys, it is going to change, because we have changed our lineup and we have brought somebody new with a whole new perspective and a whole new background and, like you say, influences and taste. Therefore, going by what I said earlier, bringing that to the table naturally will mold the band ever so slightly into a different way. So that has to be accepted, I believe, in the nicest way possible. It has to be accepted by everybody that things might sound not like they did before, sort of thing. But ultimately, we are still going for the same thing. So
and there's
make it no. I'm not coming in here to change what the band's doing or anything like that. I just want to make that clear. I'm just saying like how it can have a slight difference if your different influences.
Well, there's a difference.
But ultimately the band's not changed.
Yeah, there's a difference between change and growth. I think being the main point there, like, you're not going to change direction with it all, but you're going to grow as a band as you adapt to each other's circumstances a little bit more, and you get closer with seeing how each other works and things like that, I think is what you're trying to say. And
100%, yeah, definitely. I think you could have answered that question for us.
So what would be your dream gig?
Oh, wow. Well, go on, Adam. You crack on, mate.
Oh, I don't know. Some stadium somewhere with some of the best bands in the world. I think there's so many interchangeable lineups you could have to make it such a great gig. And wow, I don't know. I really don't know. That's such a tough question.
I think the answer is probably Heretic Fest.
That's what we was going for, actually. That's what I meant. Sorry.
If we could tick that box and I could say, we can retire happy and, yeah.
Box well and truly ticked.
Absolutely.
But don't retire yet.
Okay. We'll see how the gig goes.
Yeah, we'll get the gig done first. So, do you have any pre-show rituals? Obviously, you'll both be doing shows new to each other when it all opens up again. So maybe you'll have rituals that you won't know about each other yet.
Yeah, that's a really interesting question because we haven't actually got to that point. So I don't know what Adam does pre-show. He doesn't know what I get up to pre-show. So I'm guessing we'll kind of find out tonight. It's going to be a little, what are you doing? Well, it's how I warm up, where has he gone? Yeah, he'll be back just in time, don't worry. But no, one thing, I mean, I've been doing backing vocals live for a number of years. And one thing I'm pretty anal about is grabbing the lead singer from, whichever dressing room he seems to be drinking in and dragging him to the nearest corridor where there's a nice acoustic echo and saying, look, can we do some vocal warm-ups together because I'm bricking it. So.
I think for me previously, obviously, like I say, we've not managed to show yet with Fallen State, but I think previously I think I've been too rough on myself before a warm-up. I've not sort of gone for a warm-up and I've the general case has been 10 pints and a few fags sort of thing to get the to get the voice warmed up. But the kind of thing we're doing here with the Fallen State, I can't afford to do that. I've got to be at my absolute best to do these songs because they're tough songs and what we're doing now, you've got to be at 100%. And I think you can get away with that if you're going a bit more bluesy like I've done in the past, because you can sort of you want that sort of nice sleazy gravel sort of thing. But with this, I'm absolutely on top of it. So the pre-show warm-up is going to be absolutely vital going forward, definitely.
Yeah. And I think we're all going to be pretty nervous because obviously it'll be your first show with us and it'll be everybody's first show for like 8 years. And you know, it's going to be pretty like, oh God, we're going to do this again. You know, what does it feel like? So, yeah, I think we've got to be as prepared as possible, you know?
Yeah, you'll perhaps find new rituals as well now. That it's, one, you've not done it for a while, and two, you've got a new lineup. So you'll probably come up with your own like little like ways of doing it each day. Find something new to do. Yeah, so that'll be like an interesting part of the journey for you.
Yeah, that is going to be, all those little things, you know, that people don't see or people don't really know or don't really kind of get to experience what goes on. You know, these things have got to be, they find their own way and they just kind of, you know, these things click into place a little bit. So it's going to be, it's going to be fun really, you know, trying to work out how tours are going to go from now on and how shows are, you know, how it goes. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's been about a year since I think any of us have done anything pretty strenuous. So we'll end up doing loads of stretches and push-ups and stuff before just to limber up, especially for the first few shows.
Actually, the last gig I went to, I interviewed you, Adam, for the Addiction. So that was almost.
That's right.
Now.
Yeah, that's the last show I played. Yeah, it's middle of March, was it?
I think it was the beginning. I think it was like the 4th.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That is mad, like where that's gone. I mean, you can trump us there, guys, because we haven't played since middle of October 2019. So I don't know how long ago that is. It feels like about 5 years, but yeah, there's definitely gonna be rustiness. Definitely not looking forward to the next day after the first show.
But there's going to be rustiness in the crowd as well. Like people aren't going to be used to hearing things that loud and how to react to a gig. I mean, maybe people will react more. Maybe they'll be a bit more awkward. Like it's all kind of, how's this going to go? On all.
I don't know about you guys, but I kind of feel like all live shows from all genres and all capacities, like however big or small, are going to be mental because everybody, like all the, you know, all us gig goers and fans are going to be gagging to get to a show and let your hair down for the first time in way too long. So I think these shows are going to be unreal. There's going to be, you know, some great memories made from finally being able to go back and see a live show or play a live show.
It's going to be some of the best shows that there's ever been. Which leads me to my next question. What is the best show that you've played over the years?
Oh, wow. Go on, Adam. Start with that, mate.
Wow. Well, there's maybe a couple of answers. I think we had one that was potentially could have been the best of our entire lives up to now, and it turned out to be the worst. That was when we played at Donington Park, which was not Download, but we played at Donington. It's like, wow, this is brilliant, and it was playing this festival with an eclectic lineup. There was like S Club on there and stuff, but it was like a big sort of show sort of thing. And so we got to that one. It was there must have been about, I don't know, 80 people there. It was set up for 20,000. It was like the contrast of emotion that day was a bit mental. Apart from that, I don't know. We've played quite a lot of good shows, but I know, you know, the Fallen State have done far bigger and better shows than I've done, so I'm sure Rich can give you a much better example.
Well, I think, like, to be honest with you, like, it's not even like comparable, like, you know what I mean, like comparable, because shows mean different things at different times. Sometimes the biggest show on paper can be, like you said, can either be your worst show, or you can be so nervous that all you want to do is get through it. I know for us, we could probably collectively, the four of us could say, playing the event in Hammersmith Apollo with Pop Evil and Three Doors Down was mad, because it was just such a big jump in capacity, going from, you know, maybe a couple of thousand maximum to basically 5,500 people in such a famous venue. And then the 10 minutes build up, like you were saying earlier, Hannah, about pre-warm-ups and stuff. I mean, I don't think there was no chance any of us could have prepared for how that felt to get on stage and start playing that show. So yeah, that's definitely a memorable one. I mean, touring Europe in 2019 was amazing, just because we saw so much of Germany and, you know, all the motorways basically and the back of a bus. But no, I mean, you know, touring, getting out there and touring as far geographically as possible is always a band's aim, I think, and always a bit of a dream. So it's great to go out there and say, look, you know, we have toured Europe with you know, a good band from America or whatever, and have those experiences of the travel and all the stuff that goes around the show. But yeah, you know, shows mean different things. And I think, like we were saying earlier, I think it doesn't matter how big or small the show is going to be next year or the end of this year, but they're going to be pretty amazing just because of getting back to it and being able to experience it again.
Yeah. Yes. So my final question, if your band members were fruit, what would they be and why?
Wow. Oh, stuck with that one.
Go on.
Is it too soon in the relationship to answer that?
I'm too new to say anything derogatory about anybody.
No, come on, go on.
No, I wouldn't. I've got nothing bad to say anyway.
Oh, bless
wow. That's really got me. You got nothing, Rich?
What was the question? Sorry, if the band members what?
If the band members were a fruit, what would they be and why?
Oh, I love these. This is the kind of question you have to pre-plan for, so that you don't say something that's going to upset somebody.
That's why we don't pre-plan.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, crikey. So, oh God. I hope you can edit this because I'll get back to you in a minute. Fruit. Oh, fruit. So, crikey. So Adam being the new boy is probably, like something exotic, because you very rarely, you've never eaten one, or you've never had one, or like has anybody ever actually peeled a pineapple, So that's kind of like, you'll buy pineapple, you either buy it as chunks in a tin, or you don't eat it ever when you buy a whole one. So, we don't know what it's like to get through to that yet. So I suppose he could be a pineapple. John?
Thanks.
Yeah, that's right, mate. You're welcome. John? Oh, crikey. What?
I think that's my favourite interview quote ever. Have you ever peeled a pineapple?
Do you know what I mean, though? Hopefully you guys know what I mean. I mean, though, you buy these things, don't you? And they sit in the fruit bowl and they never get eaten because you think, oh, sod that, I'll buy the rings in the tin. And because we're still getting to know Adam, he's kind of like the whole pineapple in the bowl that we haven't got round to actually sort of having a go at cutting it in yet. So, oh, I'm sorry. The rest of us, I mean, I'll have to leave that to Adam, definitely. But yeah, Greg,
wow.
Probably nice. He's a nice solid apple, isn't he? He's probably a nice, you know what you get in, like.
Yeah, I think I'd go with that. Yeah.
It's straight, straight talking. You never bite into it and go, oh, you always go, yeah, this apple's sweet. Dan is definitely a red grape, because like they're not as good as green grapes. And John's like, oh, what's John? It's like a tomato. Okay, I'll tell you what, John.
Do you know what? I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Do you know why John's a tomato? Is because nobody knows that tomatoes are fruit.
Yeah, tomato.
Yeah, literally tomato. Hopefully that answers your question. Me, I don't know what I am. I'll let everybody decide. I'm probably like a flipping peach or something. But
I'll go with a peach. Yeah.
And I don't like peaches. So hopefully that answers your question. Cry. Yeah.
Adam, anything to add?
Sorry, I've lost all train of thought now compared to pineapples. To add, yeah, just want to thank everyone for like the response and support and all the awesome messages and comments and everything. It's been, I don't think it could have gone any better for us, and me personally anyway. You're always going to a little bit apprehensive about what's going to go down and what's going to be said when a new singer comes in and all that, and it's just been perfect. So yeah, thank you everybody, and yeah, glad everyone's digging the track.
Yeah, well, thank you for talking to me. These have been The Fallen State, and here's their new single, Knives. Bye.
Thank you.
See ya.
deliver.